So I try to stretch conference and trade show dollars. Again, marketing on a shoestring, your growth mode, absolutely essential. I tend not to sponsor a lot of actual booths, unless it's an event where I know it's very focused and it's small and people already know who we are, so they're going to make a point of coming to find us. I'd much rather be part of a conference and sit in the keynote and tweet the highlights or do a wrap-up blog post at the end of the event than to just stand in my booth and hope that the people randomly come across and steal my pen. I mean, I feel that me, my product marketing people, should be part of the action, not just sitting in the booth area. So I think by presenting yourself as one of the participants and subject matter expert who wants to be in the thick of it, not just standing in a booth, you can get not only a lot more credibility and exposure and grassroots, but hopefully if it's good, it's not. So you're coordinating, you know, who's going to retweet who at what point. You know, let's time it so we get Europe and North American time zones, or, you know, maybe we published that press release a week ago, we didn't get a lot of hits. Well, let's republish it a week later, or at least a case study behind it, and suddenly it gets retweeted 10 times. You know, we have a case like that just this week. So sometimes it's just a matter of watching the consumption patterns of content and just putting more effort on Tuesday when other people are there in different time zones. So
sure. That's a really great point. There's the sense that content is now disposable. Like once you've done it, it's done. You know, people will never want to read it again.
Yep.
I've witnessed that too, where so I'll take a blog post from 6 months ago and say this is the most popular blog post that I've written, and retweet it. Just say it's from the archives, right? And then lo and behold, people who've just come to know about it. It works. It's a good point.
Yep.
This whole notion of disposable content.
Absolutely not.
The posts are still, in some cases, they're still as valid.
And that's what I find, especially with things like, you know, Twitter, or I use my LinkedIn status very often to communicate, you know, links back to things, or where am I, what am I doing, what am I hearing, what am I listening to. I always go back and just churn it up again, because again, you're right, you may have different followers now, or maybe someone else, you know, posts something, oh, I love that, never saw that 6 months ago, and it becomes viral all over again. So I've got a few pieces that I know have kind of had second and third lives over, you know, a year or two. Okay, so building the network. So we tend to do all of our recruiting now only on social media. And that's not even LinkedIn. That's like, we're recruiting for a channel manager. This is the only ad we ever had. It was starting the hunt for our next key role, channel manager. He got 5 resume and LinkedIn links like within 2 hours. And these are heavy hitters. Some were looking for jobs, some were still employed. But he got 5 very qualified people, because a couple of us retweeted that over the next day. And we're making an offer to a guy tomorrow. That's how everything happened. This ad is not on any job site. It's not even on our website. Because we like people who are on it. This one was a Facebook update I did last week. I'm starting to look for someone to help us build a content application widget. Again, that is the only ad we've ever done with my Facebook update, because I wanted to reach a very specific audience of people who knew enterprise content management. I didn't want to go too broad, because I want to work with somebody I already know and trust. This is happening more and more. Through social networks. Our website is our greatest source of leads, not shows, not list buys, not email blasts. It's our website. And so the more ways that we can lure people back to our website, usually with quality content, presentations, blog posts, keeping our AdWords fresh and relevant, keeping our search engine optimization strategies fresh and relevant. And we get people asking for things. And it's really interesting. So she read the slides, she wants to hear more. So that kind of bringing people in, because we're talking a little bit differently, it works really well. Understanding what's going on in the market. I tend not to follow a ton of lists, but I look at them all the time. I'm always curious when I get added to new lists. And so if I want to know, well, who seems to be the hot thinkers in my area of technology, I go and I look at these lists. And I may not follow the entire filtering for me, who are the most interesting people thinking in whether it's geography or topic area or whether it's marketing or whether it's technology space I work in. Tracking content, I think one of the most interesting developments, especially in the area of Twitter, has been this, again, more grassroots emergence of metadata, the hashtag phenomenon. So I will follow conferences, out of the corner of my eye all the time. It has to be directly relevant. I'm not trying to hijack your screen, but if I have something that's directly relevant to something like Government 2.0, I'll use that hashtag and kind of blend it into the overall conference stream because that community, they're fascinated by that topic at that one particular time. And the ability to go back and do those searches are incredibly valuable. We talked a little bit about blogging already. Not only does it build awareness, it helps to challenge with overall search engine optimization and the freshness of your web content. But the ability to push buttons and get a little bit of attention can be very helpful when you're in growth mode and trying to crack into a technology space that is dominated by large vendors. To be accepted in that category, sometimes you do have to be a little bit of a, I don't know, exhibitionist online.